Songbon, professional sumo wrestler life. Ohio Degames. This is my third video of International Sumo Appreciation Day, ISAD for short. And we're going to talk about life as a professional sumo wrestler. No top 10 list here. Okay, so here we go. A sumo wrestler leads a highly legitimate way of life. The Sumo Association prescribes the behavior in a lot of detail. For example, in the wake of a serious car accident involving a wrestler, the association banned wrestlers from driving their own cars. So they can't drive their regular rules can mean fine suspension for not only the sumo, but for his stable master, or headmaster if you want to call it. When they enter sumo, they are expected to grow their hair long to form their chomage, top knot. And they have to wear the traditional Japanese dress and the top knot in public. Consequently, sumos can be identified immediately when in public. I don't know why. So here we go. The type and quality of the dress depends on the wrestler's rank. Rikishi in the lower divisions and Jori down below are allowed to wear only a thin cotton robe called a yukata. I thought it was yutaka. Even in winter. Furthermore, when outside, they must wear a form of wooden sandals called geta with clip-clop. Wrestlers in the Makushia and Sandame can wear a form of a traditional short overcoat over their yukata and are allowed to wear straw sandals. The higher rank secretary will wear silk robes of their own choice and the quality, and they must wear an elaborate form of top knot called an oicho with the grinkle leaf, not on formal agreement, not just the top knot. So similar distinctions are made in stable life. The junior wrestlers, the youngest ones, must get up earliest, around 5 a.m. for training, whereas the secretary will start around 7 a.m. When the secretary are training, the junior wrestlers have to do chores, such as assisting in cooking lunch, cleaning, preparing the bath, and holding a towel for a secretary. The ranking hierarchy is preserved for the order of precedence in bathing after training and eating lunch. Sumos are not allowed to eat breakfast and are expected to have a form of siesta after a large lunch. The most common type of lunch is the soup of chankunabe, a simmery stew with fish, meat, and veggies. It is usually eaten with rice and washed down with beer. This regimen, no breakfast and a large lunch, followed by sleep, is intended to help wrestlers put on weight to compete more efficiently. Unless you shouldn't be gaining weight. In the afternoon, the junior wrestlers will have their cleaning stuff to do, while their secretaries may relax or deal with work issues related to fan clubs. Younger wrestlers will attend class and their education differs from the curriculum of their non-sumo peers. In the evening, a secretary may go out with their sponsors, while the junior wrestlers have to stay home unless they have to accompany the stable master or secretary as his manservant. Being a manservant is a typical duty for a senior member. Secretary will have a number of manservants depending on the sizes of stable. The highest junior are given the most mundane tasks and all that. Secretary are also given their own room in their stable or may live in their own apartments, as do married wrestlers. In contrast, the juniors have to be in communal dormitories. Thus, the world of the sumo wrestler is split broadly between the junior, who have to serve, and the secretary, who are served. There's a high dropout for new recruits because of the worst jobs to be allocated. Some sumos have to. The negative health effects will appear later in life. Sumos have a life expectancy of between 60 to 65, about 10 years shorter than the average Japanese male. The average Canadian male, I think, is 76 or something. Many get diabetes, high blood pressure, and are prone to heart attacks. And the excessive intake of alcohol can lead to their liver problems, and stress on their joints to arthritis. You get money and all that. So, as of 2006, the monthly salary figures for Makuuchi are as follows, and I'll say in American dollars. Juryo division, which is like the jury on one another, they get about $11,000 a month. That's pretty impressive. Makushira, $14,000. Sanyaku, that means Sekiwake and Makuuchi? Sekiwake and Makushira. No, Sanyaku. I guess that's Secretary and I can't remember the other one. They get $18,000 US a month. Osaki get $25,000. Yokozuna only get $30,500 a month. But when you equate it, that's like $360,000 plus a year for a sumo wrestler. Wrestlers living in the second division get a small allowance instead of a salary. In addition, Secretary will also receive additional bonus income called Mochi Yukian 6 times a year. Of course, once every tournament. Based on the cumulative performance. The bonus increases every time a wrestler scores a Kashikoshe, which of course means to beat a Yokozuna when you're in the lower divisions. Special increases are also awarded for winning the top division, aka the Basho, with an extra large increase for a perfect championship victory, which means Senso Yusha, which Hakuho has been known for getting a lot of them. I think he's got 11, which is 1/3 of his Basho wins have come from Senso Yosho. And for scoring a gold star or Kinboshi. Oh, Kashikoshe, sorry, is the 8 and 7. Kinboshi is the one when you beat the Yokozuna. By Magishira. Anyone Sanyaku or above cannot. No. Sanyaku gets a relatively small additional allowance, depending on the rank, and Yokozuna receive an additional allowance every other tournament, which is 3 times a year, associated with the making of a new belt for the ring entry ceremony. There is also prize money for the winner of each divisional championship, from 100,000 yen, or about $1,000, to about 10 million yen. That's about $100,000 for winning the top division. In addition to championship prizes, wrestlers in the top division giving an exceptional performance in the eyes of the judging panel has one of 3 special prizes called Sensho, which are up to 2 million yen, or about $20,000 each. Companies can sponsor matches. The winner of the belt typically receives about 30,000 yen per sponsor. And it's called Ken Shokin. For belts involving Yokozuna and Osaki, the number of sponsors can be quite large, whereas for lower ranks, of course, there might be no sponsors. Unless one of the wrestlers is popular or the company has some policy. So anyway, amateur sumo is huge too. Sumo is an amateur sport with college, high school, and even grade school in Japan. So anyway, the most successful amateur wrestlers in Japan, usually college champs, can enter professional sumo at Makushita, 3rd division, rather than the bottom of the ladder. So anyway, there's also an ISF, International Sumo Federation, trying to talk about world things. The United States says amateur sumo clubs are gaining popularity, with competitions being held. The U.S. Sumo Open is at the Los Angeles Convention Center of about 3,000 people, which is amazing. Of course, the West Coast and Hawaii, it's popular because of the Japanese culture. Amateur sumo is strong in Europe too. In Canada, I doubt they're, So anyway, there's a lot of great job with sumo wrestling in the amateur status. I will be talking about top 10 sumo records and top 10 Yokozuna and top 10 wrestlers I liked, but they don't always have to be Yokozunas. So stay tuned for that. There'll be more videos. Today, it's International Sumo Appreciation Day, y'all.